here.
Okay.
All right, and here comes the open.
Welcome in to the Get Your Happy On Hour, featuring former Husker receiver Ricky Simmons on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What? Man, look at here. We back. 93.7 The Tickets to Get Your Happy On Hour. I'm your host, Ricky C. Simmons. Look at here. We got to have a little fun tonight. I got some special, somebody real special here tonight. I got to tell y'all about that in just a second. But hey, welcome, Austin. Welcome to the show, man. I really appreciate the fact that you're here. This is our first time together, so this should be pretty interesting.
I'm excited. I just got back from vacation. This is the energy I need.
Okay.
Just get me back going.
Okay, well, hey.
Keep it up. Keep bringing it.
We're going to get our happy on around here if we don't do nothing else. You know, before we get our get the show started tonight, I wanted to briefly talk about something. Basically, it's, how do I say this in a nice way? Uplifting and inspiring and motivation. I think that's very important. You know, the society that we live in, we don't put a lot of emphasis on being inspirational or motivating people or uplifting people. I think that's very important. And I spend a lot of time doing that, but that's not popular. It's not as popular as being negative. But you know what? I'm not trying to be negative. So I don't care if I'm not popular, but I want to be happy. I want to see others happy. And lifting people up is what it's all about. So I always spend a lot of time focusing on just the positive. Even though it doesn't make me popular, it makes me feel good. And treating people the way I want to be treated, I think the key to that is do not expect it in return. Because when you expect it in return and you don't receive it, then it gets you off of your square. So I'm going to stay focused on the positive. And that brings me to my special guest tonight. And I'm going to be real honest with you. This person here is the definition of inspiration, uplifting, and motivating people. And she do it with class, and she's humble with it. That part really inspires me. So y'all know I be hand selecting these guests. Y'all know that, right? Dominique Kelly Johnson.
Thank you. Thank you for having me tonight.
Well, thank you for coming on. And I just wanted to say, you know, more than anything, before we get started, I got to say congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, you did your thing this year. We're going to talk about that too. But,
okay.
But you did your thing this year. And I'll explain that part to y'all later. Or better yet, I'm going to let her explain that part to you. But first thing, a lot of our listeners know who you are. You might not think they know, but we're going to remind them just in case. You grew up here in Lincoln.
Yep.
And
Lincoln.
Now, what you went to Northeast?
I went to Northeast.
Now, when you went to Northeast, tell me this: did you have to do them the way you were doing them? Because you was doing them. I remember.
See, I don't think I was doing them.
Oh yeah, you was getting them. Yeah, you was getting them, Nick. You can be humble all you want, but you was getting them, and you had a lot of success in high school, which led you to the University of Nebraska.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
Now, when you went to Nebraska, did you go on full ride or?
Yep, I was on a full athletic scholarship.
Wow. So. And then, and how did your career in Nebraska go for you?
Oh, man, I had a great career at Nebraska. It was honestly everything I dreamed of and probably then some. You know, I wanted to leave home. I was a first-generation college student, and you know, everybody was kind of encouraging me to stay here, but I kind of thought it was important to get away. But when it kind of boiled down to it, all of the things that the athletic department at Nebraska could afford me, I just wasn't finding that at any other institution. So I decided to stay home, and all around, both on and off the court, it was a really good decision. The best decision I could have made.
So when you was, walk us through your career in Nebraska as a freshman?
Yep. So I was really lucky. Connie had been recruiting me. They weren't my first offer, but they were right up there, probably second or third. But I'd known her since I was 14 years old. She followed me around every summer, all 4 of those years. And I was very fortunate to be able to start in every single game that I played until I got injured my senior season, about a third of the way in. And I missed all of the conference season and then kind of had like an honorary start on senior night. But up until I got hurt, I started every game.
When you say you got injured, what happened?
Yeah, so I kind of had like a bone on bone thing that kind of started bothering me my junior year, but we were like 32-2.
Yeah.
So I wasn't trying to sit out.
Say,
I
I'm
was
not
playing
coming out
through it
again.
then, yeah. And then kind of as the summer progressed and stuff, and into the spring, it just kind of, it didn't get better.
Was it your knee?
It was my knee. Yep.
Okay.
So I had it scoped. Coach Yori and I made a deal. As long as I could come back and be ready for the first game of my senior year, I'd get it scoped and cleaned up. And it was okay for a while. And then about 12 games in, if I remember correctly, it kind of started giving me a lot of issues again.
So you
yep.
ended up missing most of your senior year?
Yep, I did. And I got to watch the game from a different angle though. And that wasn't the only thing that kind of drew me to coaching. But it was definitely one of the things that changed my perspective of the game a little bit.
So after college, what did you do initially?
So after college, I stayed at Nebraska for 2 years and got my master's degree in administration. I was a graduate assistant for the women's basketball team. So basically, you can't do everything that the coaches can do, but that's how I paid for my master's program. And then after that, I moved to Des Moines and was an assistant at Drake University.
Oh, okay. So you went to. Oh, okay.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
See, I'm learning something tonight.
See?
Okay. Now, how long were you at Drake?
So we were there about 3 years, and then I'm a pretty candid person, especially about God's grace. But I lost my son really late in a pregnancy. And I was on a business trip, and it just kind of rocked my world and just kind of changed my trajectory of what I thought I wanted to do and be. And so we moved back to Lincoln, and I got pregnant again actually right away. So I was already pregnant when we moved back to Lincoln and had my son very, very quickly after that. And I was just kind of hanging out. I was coaching my little sister's second or third grade basketball team. And then about a year later, maybe, the job at Lincoln High opened up, and they called me, and that's been going on almost 6 years.
So you've been at Lincoln High that long?
5 years. Yep. I just finished my 5th season. So.
But you know what, though? You turned that program around because they weren't doing all that well initially. But if I remember correctly, I had the privilege of watching the state championship game.
Yeah, it's been really cool. And I don't like to take a lot of credit for that. Honestly, it was a lot of parents trusting my style of coaching, and a lot of awesome young women buying into the culture that I was trying to build there, and understanding the bigger picture, that it's bigger than basketball, that we're just trying to use this game to teach life lessons. And honestly, from both the parents and the student athletes, I just got amazing buy-in.
Well, I could tell that too, because I have seen some clips and stuff of some of the things y'all would do at practice that didn't have nothing to do with basketball.
Yeah.
But it was like team bonding.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the young ladies was really buying in and having fun. And it showed on the court.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? Whether you want to take any credit or not, I got to give you some credit.
Thank you.
Yeah, because you made those girls believe, and it showed.
Thank you.
I mean, to go from where they were when you started to be in the state championship game,
yeah,
that's quite an accomplishment. And I know you're not done, so you're really just getting started.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. That first half, y'all was up.
Yeah. Man, it's crazy. I was at the grocery store today, and I was talking to somebody who stopped me, and it's like I am the consummate competitor, so it's taken a while for me to like really be able to appreciate what my team accomplished, but to get there, only 8 teams get to even go to state out of like 36 or 7 Class A schools. So that in and of itself is a feat. And every year, last year we played in the semifinal game, and I had told myself, let's just get there. Let's just get there so the girls can have the experience and take the court, and that's going to be great. And then we won a game, and then I was like, well, let's win the whole thing. And then this year, same type of deal. We won, and I was extremely nervous about the team we drew in the semifinal, in the quarterfinal game. I was watching film on them, and everybody's talking about they were a 6 seed, and I'm like, man, they're really, really, really good. And I felt more nervous about that game than I did the semifinal game.
Which team?
So that was Millard West. We
Millard
played
West.
all Millard schools, so I kind of get them mixed up.
Okay.
But yeah, when Millard West was our first game, and I was extremely nervous about them. I honestly felt very confident about the team that we drew in the semifinals because we played them in our jamboree game, and we lost to them by 2. And there was a young lady who was not a part of our team yet. She kind of had to get herself together, and she did. And then we had 2 of our starters fouled out, like middle of the third quarter, and we lost by 2 at the buzzer with like 6 days of practice.
Wow.
And we had like prepared in our zone offense, breaking the 1-3-1 and the 3-2. Like, we got very well versed in that, and so I felt really good about it. And we executed really well in the semifinal game. And it was really cool to get to the finals. I think our kids were disappointed because for so long at Lincoln High, like, it was just enough to be there and, and to compete. And our principal always says this thing, like, our kids used to hope that we would win. And that mindset kind of shifted about 2 years ago where they knew they could win. They just needed to do all the preparation things, and they started to do that consistently. And so to me, it was really cool to see like how disappointed they were that they fell short of the championship, because like we had shifted that culture. Like, it's no longer just good enough to show up and be part. Like, we're disappointed that we kind of fell short. So
everybody's buying in. Basically.
Yeah, man. Even though we didn't end up on top, like, that was probably the coolest part for me, was to see our kids like, we had all the right pieces, and we've done all the right things to get this done, and we just fell a little bit short tonight. So,
well, let me ask you this. Now, do you have a lot of those girls coming back?
So all those girls, the majority of the kids that played for us, are seniors. So I literally like built this thing like with those kids.
So it's kind of a rebuild.
Yes, yeah. So we have some young sophomores who are very capable. It's just kind of one of those deals where they came in playing behind kids that had been out there,
Right.
since they were freshmen. So we have some sophomores that will absolutely step up and be willing or be ready to contribute. But yeah, the majority of those young ladies are seniors.
You have a assistant coach.
Z.
Well, she is full of energy.
Yeah.
I love her enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I don't know her.
Yeah.
But I can just from watching.
Yeah.
She's into what she's doing.
Yeah, man. Z compliments me really well, and I just feel super blessed. She came here. There's not a lot of people can say that they were able to still a collegiate basketball coach. I did not know Autumn is her real name. Her prior to me taking the job at Lincoln High, I would see her on the road when we would be out recruiting. She coached at a Division II school called Southwest Baptist University in Bolivar, Missouri. And I reached out to her to see if maybe she would be interested in like making a change, because it's a grind to be at the collegiate level. And she was like, actually, I am looking to kind of do something a little bit different. So she too has been with me all 5 seasons, and the consummate like assistant coach, like super positive, always reassuring me when I'm doubting myself. we're just completely on the same page.
Well, I just saw her. I mean, like I said, I don't know her personally,
Yeah.
but I saw her in action.
Yeah.
And the way she was interacting,
Yeah.
she allowed you to be the head coach.
Yeah, absolutely. And Z could be a head coach if she wanted to be. I don't think she wants to, but
Well,
she totally could be.
I
if she
want her
wanted
to
be.
stay right where she's at so that y'all can keep doing what y'all doing, because
Me
I
too.
really think you guys are onto something. And the fact that the younger ladies have an opportunity to play behind those upperclassmen,
Right.
I think that's going to be beneficial. I
Yeah.
think that now they see.
Right,
They have had the opportunity to see for themselves. You know what? This can be done.
right,
All we got to do is do what we got to do.
exactly.
And I think that's going to pay off for you.
Yep.
Very excited about that. So, do y'all start the off season now? Or what do y'all do?
So it's a little bit different than it probably was years ago, but club season has kind of become the big thing now. So
Now, explain club season.
So it's just AAU basketball. There are
Oh,
more
okay.
opportunities and programs around now. So honestly, that's kind of the perk of being the high school coach. I get to be with my own kids and family right now.
I got you.
And I turn them over to some of the greatest club coaches in the Midwest and even club programs in the country. And so they'll kind of do their thing. We'll get together a little bit in June. And do some team camps and play in a little bit of league. But yeah, they'll just be with their club coaches, and that starts like now until the end of July. So
That's good though. They're staying in shape.
Yep.
And they're staying busy.
Yep.
I like that. I really like that, because I think sometimes I don't mind.
That's right.
There are some distractions out there, so we don't want the distractions. But
Yep.
if those girls can keep doing what they're doing, I think you're gonna be fine. Hey, well, look, Nick, don't go nowhere. Don't nobody go nowhere. We're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And we're going to come right back to the Get You Happy On Hour on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be right back. Perfecto. Oh, yeah. I was gonna-
Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and free pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit
Nick, what we do, we come
nebcoinc.com.
back.
That's NEBCOINC.com.
You had a great year this year.
At Doane University, you can play a sport you love and also receive a world-class education. You'll learn leadership skills on and off the court that will set you up for success long after graduation. Doane isn't a place where you get lost. It's a place to get found, and it's a place where your future is uniquely yours. Learn more about the endless possibilities at Doane University today at
Don't
doane.edu.
hesitate to expand.
Okay.
Yeah, but like I say, we're not like
March is a month
show.
of good luck.
This
From
is
epic
about
runs
you.
in state
This is
basketball
about
to
you.
watching
No,
Cinderella
this is about
spring the
you
upset in
getting
college
stuff out there.
basketball. And of course,
I'm just
St.
trying to-
Patrick's Day.
trying to keep
Luck
it
is on
going.
your side
Okay.
at Mullen
I want
Motors
you
too,
to
because
get
their
stuff
lot
out
is
there
full of
that-
great vehicles to
that
take
you can
home.
use
Come check out their lot
later
just
on.
north of
Okay.
40th and
Okay.
Layton and find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner.
Whatever.
Your luck starts
We're gonna
this
post
month
stuff
at
too,
Mullen
so-
Motors.
No tag
This
on.
is-
Quality vehicles.
All over
Mullen
this.
Motors.
I'm in full-blown mom mode.
This is Jake Cohen.
My husband's
When I
like,
played
"You've
football
been
for
gone
Nebraska
enough.
and in the
Take
NFL, I
care of
wore
this."
protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Kyrie wanted to be here tonight, but I forgot.
Guys,
He
when I
would've
first
took
started
over.
with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-Week Challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
March is full of high school state basketball action, the NCAA tournament, baseball season starting up, all great things that also cause a lot of stress. Instead of letting your nerves get the best of you and cause uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of all of it with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages, deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A. Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $10 off any athletic shoes $105 and under, and get $15 off any shoe over $105. Choose from respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, On, and 361 Running. And don't forget the trendy Hey Dudes. A new shipment just arrived for the season. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Well, we're back. And we're still getting our happy on. You know, I was just sitting here thinking, man, Nika's she's just being humble, y'all. I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. She's a real humble person. And I admire that. But this lady has accomplished quite a bit athletically herself. She won't talk about it, so I will. I mean, she was a star in high school. She was a star in Nebraska. She's been a star everywhere she's gone. But I want to know, what does Nick do now that the season's over? You made it to the state championship. You came up a little short, but you got a lot to build on, so I know the momentum is there. What does Nick do in this off season?
Yeah, man, I'm just spending time with my family, and just kind of working on my mental health to just kind of get rejuvenated. So just kind of working on some different personal goals that I have with my therapist. Kyrie turns 6 Wednesday.
We got to get Kyrie a phone.
Yeah.
We got to get him a phone.
We got to get Kyrie a lot of stuff. And so actually, it just kind of didn't work in our schedule this past week. So we always kind of take him for a little trip because the basketball season is just such a grind and mom's not home a lot. And so we're taking him on a spring break trip this week to Florida.
What?
Yep. So we're getting away for a few days. And then we have a baby who will be 9 months tomorrow, Kennedy. Wow. So, yeah, we're just hanging out. We're going to get some sun and some seafood, and it's going to be good.
So how long are you going to be in Florida?
4 days.
And what part of Florida are you going to?
We're going to Fort Lauderdale.
What? Yep. Kyrie be on your phone because you was missing some text messages and some phone calls.
You're not the only one, Rick.
Huh?
You're not the only one.
Well, me and Mr. Hunter both was trying to get through it. I was
know.
like, man, Nick is hard to catch up with.
I'm really not. Yeah, he's just... I've never seen a kid deny a telephone call so quickly. If he's on kids' YouTube, you're getting that reject right away. He hits that button so quick.
He done learned how to block them calls right quick.
I keep telling him to use his dad's phone, but he only wants to use mom's. So.
Oh, okay. Well, see, he knows where he can get away with stuff. See,
yeah, he does.
Yeah, he done figured that part out.
Yep.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think for you say 6, he's getting ready to be 6.
He'll be 6.
Man, is he sports? He into sports?
So he played basketball this winter.
Okay.
It was very interesting. He's actually gonna play flag football. He's gonna miss the first week, but yeah, when we come back, he'll start doing that. He seems to be super excited about football.
Okay.
And he was. I missed a few games, but at the end there, I popped up before a game and he was yelling at his teammates and I was like, Clyde, get him out the game. He was over there acting crazy and
he's busy out there.
Yeah, man, he's passionate for sure.
Well, that's good though. Yeah. That's good. I mean, hey, well, you know what? He might have got that honest. So
he did.
Yeah, so you can't.
We're
really
a pretty competitive family. So.
Yeah, well, that's because I know Clyde's competitive as well.
Competitive.
So I mean, hey, Apple ain't falling far now.
Nope.
Well, you know what though? I think once he gets down to Florida and get his fun on, I think when he gets back, I think he's gonna be ready.
He's gonna be ready.
So you say he's gonna play flag football?
Yep. So he's doing that, and yeah, we just we're kind of letting him find his way. You know, I don't want to be one of those helicopter parents. And the way that youth sports are now, anyways, it's like once you start, you really don't stop. So I'm okay with him just kind of dipping and dabbling over the course of the next few years, because seems like I just remember like growing up from about like 8 or 9. I mean, that just kind of became the way of life. And I just want to make sure that he's pursuing the things that he wants to pursue.
Yeah.
And that we're not, you know, vicariously trying to live through him or just influencing him. And he's got a really strong personality. So I don't think that's going to be easy to do anyways. But, you know, it's just important that he is his own person.
Right, right. And I think sometimes when they are able to have that freedom to choose, I think it also makes them be more involved and more want to do it. Versus, I'm only doing this because mom and dad wants me to do
Absolutely.
it. Yeah, I think that's smart. Well, I need to know when he's going to be playing, because me and Hunter will show up and see him put in that work.
He's going to be out there tackling people.
It's supposed to be playing flag.
It's not supposed to be. Yeah, exactly.
So what else does Nick do in the offseason?
Yeah. So honestly, that's it. I might do a little bit of youth coaching just to give back.
Right.
This spring and summer, but I try to like cultivate such a unique experience at Lincoln High with the basketball program, and not honestly just with the basketball program. My teaching job at Lincoln High is pretty unique also. And so, you know, when I'm in that, I'm like thoroughly in it, like 110%. And so I'm just trying to like.
Now you say you're teaching. What do you do there?
Yeah, so I teach. Lincoln High has an alternative education kind of school within a school, and we call it the Foundry. And it's kind of, you know, the pandemic was kind of crazy and all that. So originally, like, we were kind of aiming to help students who like had dropped out or who were on the verge of doing so, kind of re-engage in school, kind of in a smaller, more intimate setting. And that's still what we're doing, but it's not just for students who have dropped out or who are on the cusp of doing so. And so I teach English up there, and it's a very intimate environment. And I have some students that I'm super duper close with. And so, you know, we still have about 9 weeks left of school. So just trying to, you know, I'm going to take this next week to kind of get re-energized and then come back and continue to push those kids and motivate them towards graduation.
So this is spring break this week? Or
so it was spring break this week.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next week they'll be back in school?
Yep. So they'll be back in school tomorrow.
Yeah, let me ask you this. Do you know Mr. Bowden?
I do know Mr. Bowden. Who doesn't know Mr. Bowden?
Bodacious! Big shout out to Mr. Bodacious. That's what I call him. Mr. Richard Bowden. Man, that dude there is funny all the time. Guy. But he's a good person, and I know his heart's in the right place.
Absolutely.
So I had to show him a little love. I think Calvin Haywood is over at your school as well.
Yep, Calvin.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm familiar with a few of the people.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but a few of them. And my question to you, though, is working at Lincoln High, how has that opened your eyes to a lot of...
Man, I tell people all the time, today at the grocery store, Lincoln High is just like, it's really unique and it's really a special place. It's kind of hard to articulate, and I just feel like I fit the culture there, and not just like on the basketball court, but just in my classroom. You know, it's really imperative and important to me, like as a Black woman, that I can be a Black woman and I can kind of live through that lens and share my perspective and my experience. And I don't know that if I worked at any other place in the city, I would be able to do that. But I'm allowed and embraced to do that at Lincoln High. And not just, like the admin and the staff and faculty, but like the students are extremely receptive of that. And it's just a place where everybody can kind of land on their feet and find their niche. And I honestly have not seen anything like it, but it just is different. You got to kind of be there to experience it.
I'm kind of, I'm glad to hear you say that because, and something else you said earlier that really caught my ear was the parents are buying in.
Yeah.
That's very important because a lot of times that's not the case.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, even this same couple that I was talking to today at Sam's Club, they were like, "Do you hear from parents a lot?" And I was like, "No, not at all." And they kind of looked at me and they were like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah, like that's probably like if I had 10 things on my list that I was concerned or worried about, that literally would be the 11th thing. That wouldn't even make the top 10 things."
Wow.
They, and we've had like lots of hard conversations with kids. And, I've grown just as much as some of our kids have grown.
Mm-hmm.
But they stay out of the way. I think they were like excited about me being there, somebody who's kind of lived it and done it and who looks like their children. And they honestly just kind of got out of the way and they supported me. And
that's rare now.
Very rare.
Yeah.
All we have two Calvin's daughter, actually Nikki, played basketball for us this year.
Mm-hmm.
Hadn't played before, but just kind of wanted to be a part of something bigger than herself. So was the most amazing cheerleader all season long for us. And then we had another senior, her name's Mac Thomas. She's going to play softball at Doane, but kind of our original crew of basketball kids, all 6 of those kids are going to college.
Awesome.
And that's probably the thing that, I'm most proud of. So,
well, I think that's probably the most impressive part. Because a lot of times we get caught up in the sports side of it and we kind of forget everything else.
Right.
And when sports come up short, then the kid pays the price because they don't have anything to fall back on.
Absolutely. And kind of to just push that point even a little bit farther, Rick, like I said, we try to just use the game of basketball to teach life lessons because it gets real.
Yes.
And it gets hard and it does so very quickly. And so, I push those kids really hard, but it's like, if you can go through this and finish it when it's not always pretty, and it's not always about you, which is also a very hard lesson for a bunch of 16, 17, and 18-year-old girls to learn. I'm confident that you'll go through other things in your life that you'll be able to persevere through. So
I agree with that 100% because a lot of times it's all about me.
Yep.
And that's just the mindset. And out of fairness, like I said, I've said this before and I'll say it again. These young ladies and young men too in high school, they got way more distractions than I had
for sure,
in high school. So I admire the ones that can push through all the distractions and still accomplish their goals.
Yeah. And again, that's where like being at Lincoln High is like really unique and special too. I've been able to form very genuine and authentic relationships with my kids, and we cover it all. Like, we don't just talk about X's and O's.
Right.
We're talking about, making sound decisions in your relationships, being a great ambassador of Lincoln High in your family, both on and off the court, and sometimes those conversations go even a little bit deeper. So
right.
Kind of what you see with me is what you get. But, like I said, at the end of the day, the most important thing to me is that they leave and they're more prepared for life.
And
because
that is
it just
so important.
It happens so quickly.
Yeah, and it's so important, and usually a lot of times people don't figure those things out until after the fact.
Absolutely.
And you're on top of it right off the top. And that to me is very impressive because once you make those poor choices, it can almost take a lifetime to rebound from them. So you're on it. You're doing big things, and I'm just proud of you because you took on a responsibility that a lot of people wouldn't want to take on.
Yeah.
Because the youth now are a little different because of, I call it well, we called it discipline. I guess the lack of.
Right.
So, and I understand that there are rules in place. I get it. I'm not trying to challenge that, but I just think sometimes the kids are a little smarter than they think they're smarter than everybody else. And sometimes that's not the case.
Yeah. You know, the other thing I think a lot of my mentors that I've had in my life have also preached to me, though, is like, I was never as good as I thought I was, but I also wasn't as bad as I probably perceived myself to be at times. And so the thing that's kind of carried me through is just trying to be who I needed when I was a 16-year-old girl. And so there are certainly really, really hard days and days that I'm exhausted. And I mean, we lost our second game of the season this year by 25 points. We didn't even get off the bus, I don't think. And like, I was in tears and I was just like, what am I doing? I've put in a lot of time and energy and effort into this job. You know, and I felt like I was failing them, and I was pissed off at myself that I wasn't doing a better job. You know, so not getting like, and that's part of the lesson too, like just not getting too high or getting too low, but just kind of keeping everything into perspective. And like I said, nobody, even them, like they're never as bad on or off the court as it appears to be in certain moments. And there's just always room to improve and to learn something.
Well, I'm going to say this, for y'all to lose that second game by that many points and then bounce back to the state championship game, hey, somebody put in some work somewhere.
I don't know if we even showed up, Rick. It was really, really bad.
But hey, you ended well.
Yes.
And like I said, I know how competitive you are, and I get it, but I still think you all have a lot to be proud of. I mean, to be in the state championship game, that's not an easy feat to even get to, like you said. So, I mean, you guys got there. You represented yourself well. Hey, you come up a little short, but hey, sometimes that's a lesson too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, very, very proud of the girls at Lincoln High. Hey, listen here, y'all. We're going to take one more break, but we're going to come right back with Nick. So don't y'all go nowhere. To Get You Happy on Hour, we'll be right back on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, what we got left?
You can go as long or short as you want. You want to go 8 to 10?
Let's do 8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do 8 minutes. Let's see here.
CDL drivers for Ready Mix Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical, and retirement benefits, paid time off, and we pay for CDL training. Apply today to earn an average total compensation of $50,000 to $60,000 your first year driving. From Nebco's beginnings in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
At Doane University, you can play a sport you love and also receive a world-class education. You'll learn leadership skills on and off the court that will set you up for success long after graduation. Doane isn't a place where you get lost. It's a place to get found, and it's a place where your future is uniquely yours. Learn more about the endless possibilities at Doane University today at doane.edu.
March is a month of good luck. From epic runs in state basketball to watching Cinderella spring the upset in college basketball. And of course, St. Patrick's Day. Luck is on your side at Mullen Motors too, because their lot is full of great vehicles to take home. Come check out their lot.
So we got 8 minutes. We're gonna do.
And find your next ride, as summer road trips are just around the corner. Your luck starts this month at Mullen Motors.
No tag-ons, just quality vehicles. Mullen
Share
Motors.
with us about your career.
This is Jay Foreman. When I played football for Nebraska and in the NFL, I wore protective gear to safeguard my health. Today, I'm not only protecting my health, but everyone in our community by staying up to date with the bivalent COVID vaccine. Update your protection with the bivalent COVID vaccine while it's still free. Find out more at healthylincoln.org. That's healthylincoln.org.
Being so honest about what you're doing at Lincoln High,
Guys, when I first started with Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, I weighed in at over 300 pounds. Now, less than a year later, I'm under 200 pounds for the first time since high school. I'm stronger, I'm healthier, and it all began with the Farrell's 10-week challenge. 10 weeks of kickboxing, strength training, and guided nutrition coaching to help you reach your fitness goals. Their next 10-week challenge begins on April 8th. If you're wanting to change your life like I have, head to theticketfm.com and click on Enroll Now on the homepage. Plus, get a promo code for a discount just for ticket listeners. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping.
March is full of high school state basketball action, the NCAA tournament, baseball season starting up, all great things that also cause a lot of stress. Instead of letting your nerves get the best of you and cause uncomfortable tightness, get ahead of all of it with a massage from The Body Shop. The Body Shop in Lincoln is your place for all types of massages, deep tissue, hydrating, sports, Swedish, hot stone, aroma, and more. And don't forget about their couples massages. Book your appointment today at thebodyshoplincoln.com. The Body Shop at 48th and A. Spring is here. It's time to get back outside and into proper shoes this year. Brown Shoe Fit is the place to buy this spring with their sale on athletic shoes. Get $10 off any athletic shoes $105 and under, and get $15 off any shoe over $105. Choose from respected brands like Hoka, Brooks, New Balance, On, and 361 Running. And don't forget the trendy Hey Dudes. A new shipment just arrived for the season. Start your spring off right at Brown Shoe Fit, just south of 66 and Q in Lincoln. Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln by offering a number of services. From group homes for special needs adults to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the intellectual and developmental disability services your loved one needs to live a fulfilling life. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a more rewarding career, learn more about available positions. Learn more about services for your loved ones or employment today at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Back to the Get Your Happy On Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What? Man, look at here. Y'all know your boy can't dance, right? But that's okay. Every week I keep trying. I'm going to get my happy on every chance I get. I know I can't dance. Y'all ain't got y'all. I see y'all out there laughing at me, but that's okay. As long as you laughing, that's what's important. You know, I always focus on getting my happy on, even when it's obvious that I can't dance. It's not a big deal. You know, I believe I can dance, even though nobody agrees with me. But I agree with me, so that's all that matters. But you know, right now, I got to ask that question I ask every guest. Neat. How does Neek, after all the stuff she does, coaching, I mean, the fantastic basketball career, the coaching careers up and running, family life, I mean, man, I don't really know where you would even have time to do this, but I'm going to ask anyway. With all the stuff you got going on, you're probably trying to figure out how to get an 8-day week and a 30-hour day just for Neek. So how does Neek find time, or what does Neek do when she does find time to get her happy on?
Yeah, I mean, pretty simple things make me happy. You know, like I was able to get a manicure and a pedicure today, so that made me pretty happy.
A little pamper time.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
And Kennedy's still pretty immobile still yet, but like just I'm going to be super happy to deliver the news. I haven't told him, and I'm a terrible secret keeper. Like, I don't do surprises very well. Like, I always let the cat out the bag. And so I'm really proud of myself that I have not told my son yet about this trip for his 6th birthday.
Oh, he don't know.
So, like, I'm really looking forward to just, like, seeing the expression and the look on his face when he finds out. Because he's, you know, he's at that pouty age anyways, kind of where it's nothing's ever good enough. Which that will probably still be the case while we're on our trip. But just like seeing that, like just raw and pure excitement, I'm really looking forward to that. And just honestly, like being with him and getting to like do really cool life experiences with him, you know, things my mom wanted to be able to do with us, but you know, she was young and just couldn't always do those things. So that's what makes me the most happy, honestly, just being able to light his face up.
That's all good, though.
Yeah.
That's all good. And like I say, I think what would really light his face up is if you get him a cell phone.
Yeah, we're gonna be holding off on that for as long as possible. He's gonna get a track phone.
Say, hey, that's all right. He got your phone, so he good.
Absolutely.
But the good thing about it, though, Nick, is you're going to get an opportunity to spend some time with the family, like you say, and just kind of pause for a minute.
Yeah.
Sometimes a break is good. It's kind of like a reset, or I guess in computer talk, it's a reboot.
Right.
And you get a chance to sit back and evaluate everything, because I know before I say this, I know you're not going to do it, but I'm going to say it anyways. At some point, you should take a little time to kind of reflect on the success you've had.
Yeah.
I know you're super competitive. I already know you ain't going to do it, but I just got to put it out there. I would love it if you would take a few minutes on this break that you got coming up to Florida and just kind of, look back over your life, man, and look at how the basketball led to what it led to, and then to what you're doing now, and then as being a parent. I mean, in a strange way, it's hard for me to say this to you, but I really think you've already been successful on so many levels, that a lot of people don't get a chance to.
Yeah.
Because of the decision making.
Right.
At least you made the decisions that put you in position to help others.
Yeah.
And I admire that in anybody.
Yeah.
Because when you're trying to help others, that's a selfless act. And a lot of people aren't like that. So, for you to take on not only life, but you take on coaching them girls and dealing with them. There's a lot of people that don't want to be in them schools. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of people don't want to be in them school buildings because
it's a lot, yeah.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
You don't have to admit it to me. I go into them schools myself, and I see it.
Yeah.
And when I'm with Mr. Hunter, I go in with him sometimes, and I be like, wow, boy, you guys got a unique job. I try to be nice about it, but, it's very challenging what you do, and you seem to be doing it with a lot of grace, and I want that to remain a part of your deal, because, like, for long, Kyrie gonna be walking them halls.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He gonna be walking them halls, but the good thing about it is he gonna know Mom's somewhere around.
That's right.
And Mom don't play, so, and I'm sure Clyde ain't gonna be letting it slide either. So
nope.
The thing is, what I'm trying to say in a nice way is, however you can get your happy on, get your happy on.
For sure.
And keep doing what you're doing, and just know that people aren't quick to tell you they're proud of you, but I am.
Thank you.
I'm very proud of
Thank
you,
you.
because I saw where it started, and I see where you're headed.
Thank you.
And that's very impressive. Is there something you'd like to say to your girls, your team?
Oh man, we've got a big. I'm kind of throwing them a really big banquet, shindig, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, I'm actually kind of not looking forward to like our banquet.
Why is that?
Well, it's just kind of like it's kind of emotional for me. I genuinely feel like I grew up with these girls. So, like I'm extremely excited to celebrate their success. But I'm also like sad cuz I just feel like they genuinely have been little sisters. We spend it's just like I said, if you're not in it or at Lincoln High and you haven't been around since we've been building this thing, you might not understand, but like we do it different at Lincoln High. And I take a lot of pride in that and how we've built it and how unique it is. So I don't know, just that I love them and I'm so thankful and grateful that I got to coach them. And as always, I'm just so grateful to their parents for entrusting me to lead them and just for their support. But I did want to say one thing to your point about just the success that I've had. I am just the culmination of so many people. you know, from my mom to all the amazing mentors that I've had over the years, pouring into me. I'm not this person without the investment and deposits of a lot of people, you know, in my life. And so this is not just a me thing. It's, you know, a lot of people, you know, are responsible for me being the person that I am today. And that's not something that I take lightly. And that's honestly all I'm trying to do is just reciprocate what was given to me and change trajectories and send kids to college and help them accomplish things that sometimes they don't even themselves feel like they can accomplish.
Well, let me tell you a little secret. You're doing a fine job.
Thank you,
and
Rick.
You keep doing big things. Hey, listen, y'all, I want to thank you for being my guest tonight. I appreciate that. Austin, thank you, man, for everything.
It's been a blast.
Hey, listen, I want y'all to understand something, and just bear with me for a second. Every day that you blessed to see, it truly is another day in paradise. And you got to get your happy on. Y'all have a great day. Keep doing big things, Neat. I love being happy, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll see you next week.